definite festive, merry something.
Yeah, ensemble.
The beard is white, the shirt is red. The sunglasses, though, are my favorite. They're just pimp as fuck. They're just pimp as fuck. All right. And you also have to realize that there's a lot of things going on right now that I've never done before, like a video thing, and I don't know if it's recording or not.
Broadcasting.
Yeah, this is all me. These are all beats that I made that were never finished. And so when I started doing pipe dreams, I needed a bunch of shit to like talk over behind me. It was instrumental. And these are all just a million tap songs.
This is the evolution of the first song that you're playing, or is it a different
They're
song?
all different. There's like 300 of these beats, and they're all different.
Because that first one, when the show first came on, that was a drum and bass song, and that's like the music that I promote.
This one right here?
Yeah, that's called an Amen Break. We're making a movie about this right now.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of these. But that helps me out. I want to ask you about drum and bass, jungle, EDM, all the different varieties. I know it has to do with beats per minute. You can tell everybody what the difference is and what your specialty is and stuff like that.
Well, let's play a song first, and then we'll get into it.
Let's do that. Let's play a song first. It has been a long time not to have music. There's your favorite boy. All right, here we go, guys. This is Night Wolf, Fake Trigger, Dreams. Special stud.
I was just busting your balls.
Hey, he was just busting my balls on a hot mic. All right, guys, this is
Did I
MJ.
say
And
balls on you?
you said you could say balls, dude. This is so independent.
Okay.
I don't know of a damn thing you can't say on this.
Okay. Cool.
This is some seriously independent radio.
Just needed to know if I needed to concentrate on not speaking like I normally speak.
How do you normally speak?
I cuss a lot, that's for sure.
Oh, Roger that. Yeah, my sister, Arizona, Alaska, Amy, was telling me how I should do a show professionally. She's like, "You're so good." Of course, it doesn't sound good now because I'm fucking messing everything up right now. But my sister was like, "Dave, you're so good at this radio thing. You should do your own radio show." And I'm like, if I had ads and I had to play what they wanted me to play and say what they wanted me to say, it would kind of change.
Yeah.
The reason I think I love doing this is because I don't have all that.
Right. Okay, good.
Anyway, that was Seventh Heaven from Wayne Scott, one of the ultimate dudes here on XRP in the database.
Okay, so I just got a comment real quick on the night of the. Oh, do we have a lag?
Good.
Was that an echo?
That was them, the delay, 1 second delay.
Oh, okay. All right. So first of all, as a disclaimer, when I agreed to do this, I came over here and did this before with Dave, or what do you go by here?
Boomsmack.
Yeah, which is a bass drum and a snare drum sound.
Exactly.
So the last time we came to, it was just like some internet radio thing, and it was, everything's cool. So we ate some edibles and we told stories because we grew up together. And then I get over here this time thinking it's the same thing. And, I'm busy on Friday nights, but I was like, yo, I'll come do your show with you again because it's a special occasion.
What would you normally be doing on a Friday night right now? Besides
I'd be at a club probably flyering for my event that's coming up next month.
Roger that. Well, that's one of the things I want to talk about later is your eventage.
Okay. So anyways, I get here this time and it's just Facebook Live and it's being broadcast to millions of people now. And I'm like, yo, I already ate the edibles, dog. Like I wasn't expecting this big to do. So, but here we are. So, hi.
Hi. And we can't say balls. So Tiz, do me a favor. This is so professional. Can you tell us if everything's working? Can you hear us and see us and all that jazz? Because we are on the StreamYard. We are on XRP. And we are on the Five Dreams. It does sound like you can hear it good. Didn't you hear that for a second?
I did. Who's made this song that you're playing right now?
That. Where's the volume? That was me. That was one of my beats.
Okay, listen, dude. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Like all this shit right here is all me.
You're a junglist and you don't even know it.
Well, that's funny because one day you told me I thought like a DJ and didn't even know it.
Yeah, I keep telling you that.
Welcome back, Anbo-Jyutsu, to Cloud 17. All right, what is this? That'd be funny. MJ could tell me what my music is because for 20 years I've been making music and I never had any idea what any of it was.
Well, the last two that you played me, you're using what's called an amen break.
Okay.
And an amen break there's this whole story behind it that my buddy in Charlotte is actually making a movie about right now, and I'm helping him with the movie. And
let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah. Okay. So there was this. So back in the early 60s, bands didn't really integrate through races, right? You know what I'm saying? You had your white bands, you had your soul bands, and that was that. Like, anybody seen the new Elvis movie? Like, I know it's not cool to like Elvis, but if you watch that movie, son, it's impossible not to cry for that dude.
I've never really been cool or worried about what was cool, but I've always loved Elvis. So let's go ahead and start wearing me out if that's not cool.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I want to see the movie.
There's some people that think he appropriated a culture.
He might have.
But my argument is like he was hanging with those, like, that's what he loved as a kid.
Yeah.
And then he was like hanging with BB King and shit. So like, that would also be like accusing me of appropriating a culture because the music that I promote comes from black culture, but I fucking love it. And I've been supporting it for 30 fucking years.
Yeah. And I got the feeling Elvis fucking loved it. And he was one of the first white people I ever saw. Certainly the first white rich person I ever saw surrounded by all colors all the time making his music. Like I never even when in 1977 when he passed, I was already a fan of his. Even when I was 5-6 years old. Racism and any of that never even like he had everybody on stage with him and he had everybody in the studio with him. And he may have taken their culture or whatever, but what I'm saying is he made it his own. He didn't just it wasn't just out there covering everybody.
Even then, when he recreated the Vegas show, I mean that's a whole nother like genre of music. Like no music like that existed. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. I definitely recommend that movie. It's awesome.
Right on. So how does it relate? Like how are you? Like how are you relating it, like the music in that movie, in the Elvis movie, to what you were about to say? Because I
forgot what my point of
I did too. Because I was so watching Anbo getting set up over there. Look at that.
I definitely had a point, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was either.
About 150 milligrams of
let's listen to some Naughty NT because I remember you liked him.
Oh yeah,
the last time you were here.
That's what I want to talk about. That Nightwolf guy.
Kudos. Oh, he's so good, dude. Nightwolf's one of my favorites.
That was some dubstep vibes, and that is a music that is close to my soul as well. So
yeah, I love me some
kudos
Nightwolf.
on that. That was really well produced, like mixed and mastered, and
yeah, that's one of the things Graham would harp on. He was always key on the people who had the best production.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the world I come from.
Right,
is production. So
I've always liked Naughty's production.
Yeah, the last time I was here, I think he was my favorite that you played.
I remember you said you liked Naughty, Lavender Galaxy,
yeah,
and one other dude that I don't remember.
Yeah, I was actually like, you got to play him tonight because that guy's sick. And I was talking to him about maybe even representing him because that's how much I believed in him. And he's like, man, I can't leave the crib. And I'm like, fuck, it's not much I can do then.
Yeah, he's really talented. I just got his comic book thanks to Anbo. Yeah. Anbo's comic delivery service.
That guy is really sick. Like you got to play him before I leave tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna listen to some.
He could be big. Like he's good.
Yeah, there's several people in the database that I'm like, wow, it's so funny how the famous stuff and then the unfamous stuff, and I'm like, this is better. We're gonna listen to a few tunes, and then we're gonna talk about the Zerbathon and the fundraiser, and we're gonna listen and talk to Anbo-Jyutsu. He's here in the studio, so. They Don't Know Me, mixed by Mastermind. Naughty and T on Pipe Dreams. Special Zerbathon edition.
They don't know me. Don't you see I'm perfect?
Perfect.
They don't know me.
Yeah. The things she goes through just to get paid. There's no security for her, she's got to work every day. Waking up every morning with new marks on her face. When she just wants to be safe, at any point could get raped. She does it cause she's got to do it, but she wants to escape. There's nothing that could even help her try to cover the shame. All she wants to do is get herself up out of the game. But she knows that she will relapse, it will happen again. But there's one thing that she uses to get rid of the pain. She will do anything to get another hit of cocaine. You'll see her going for a fix out in the wind and the rain. Sometimes I see her on the corner even begging for change. You can tell that she don't like it cause she covers her face. But she's an addict and she's aged and she's stuck in her ways. And she knows that her life is in a mess and disgrace. But everybody's perfect to themselves in their own way.
Don't you see I'm perfect? They don't know me. Don't you see I'm perfect?
Yeah.
They don't know me.
They don't know me. They don't know me. She's always treated like a reject. People only see her defects. There's no wonder that she's down and under, putting up a defense. If she could go back in time, then she would try rewind the sequence from the bad things that she's done in life. But some she had good reason living. Must be hard for her not having any help there. Juggling between her habits, paying for her health care. She's got no one to love, no one cares for her welfare. It must be tough, but sometimes life ain't fair. She's in and out of rehab, always overdosing, nearly comatose, no emotion for the commotion she's causing. Often knowing that she's going, but never stopping or slowing. She's hit the bottom and gripped the bottle, the cycle keeps going. Her life's a roller coaster ride, her mind is stuck in overdrive and only wants to do what's right. That's the way that she gets by, that's the way that she survives. Better than working a 9 to 5. No, she's running out of time, but no, she's perfect deep inside.
Don't you see I'm perfect? see I'm perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
They don't know me. Bring you down into the ground. Bring you down to the ground. Down into the ground. Bring you down.
Mastermind. Everybody's perfect in their own ways. MT. It's not this. Perfect.
Don't you see I'm perfect? They don't know me. Don't you see I'm perfect?
They don't know me. They don't know me.
They don't know me. They don't know me. Not anymore. So imagine we love all night. The games we play at the arcade. You fall asleep, your favorite chair. Lavender in our backyard. And I see dim lip gloss, blue circles, warm smiles, glitter on her feet, blind rabbit, wait for it, staying up way too late. Dim lip gloss, blue circles, warm smiles, glitter on her feet, space mountain, big thunder. There's my love tours in the air. Whoa, whoa, You got big lip gloss, blue circles, warm smiles, glitter on your feet, glitter on your feet, glitter on your feet. You're my best friend, I know you know. I love you so forevermore. You are my rock, you are my roll. You are my world, you soothe my soul. You are my rock, you are my roll. You are my world, you soothe my soul. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I'll tuck you in, kiss Where have you been all of my life? I've got you now, we'll be alright. And I said, in lip gloss, blue circles, warms my ears, glitter on her feet, flying rabbit, wait for it, staying up way too late. Pink lip gloss, blue circles, warms my ears, glitter on her feet, space mountain, big thunder, the smell of churros in the air. You're my best friend, I know you know. I love you so, forevermore. You are my rock, you are my road. You are my world, you soothe my soul. You are my rock, you are my road. You are my world, you soothe my soul. Oh, yeah. And I see thin lip gloss, blue circles, warms my ears, glitter on the seat, like a rabbit, wait for it, staying up way too late. Thin lip gloss, blue circles, warms my ears, glitter on the seat, space mountain, big thunder. The smell of churros in the air.
Bad dreams. guys. We're getting all figured it out here. Dances at the Royal Court. Leventi on Pipe Dream. Special Friday Zerpathon edition. Now, I have a million things to say.
I just want to point out how impressive it is that you just built a whole live performance studio while we were on the air in the first 30 minutes that we've been doing this.
Well, I had y'all's help.
Crazy.
I had y'all's help.
We're over here doing live mix. Like, this guy's about to play live with a whole keyboard and a guitar, and he's singing, and we just set all this live performance studio up in the last 30 minutes.
And I've never done this before.
I was not expecting this.
And none of us have done this
when
shit
I came
before.
Here. I am way too high for this shit.
None of us. You mean on live? Do you mean on live? High on live? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm high on edibles, son. Shit.
I just had a really cool idea, actually.
What?
Yeah. Hold on a second. You keep talking. Here's my idea. If I plug one of these in.
You're only gonna have a mono output.
Well, I don't have to do it, but I was thinking I have a double split. I could put both of our mics on one cable, have him go. But then I don't know if that would even work. So let's just, you break all that down and come over here. Okay. Like all that, take off and come talk on the interview part of it. Okay. And we're going to play another song. But before we play another song, I'd like to talk to everybody about what's going on right now. First of all, shout out to everyone in the chat box. Shout out to everyone on YouTube. Shout out to everyone on Facebook, StreamYard. I saw Raleigh in the chat.
Hey, Raleigh. Hey.
Raleigh is my brother.
And old friend of mine.
And a very old friend of his.
We grew up together.
Patrick Stamps from the Frosty Squash Fly and other stuff is in the chat. Anyway, hey to everybody that's here. Oh,
here, take my seat and get this interview knocked out. Okay. You guys got to...
well, it might be possible for him to sit there.
Wait till you see this guy, dude. This shit is crazy. I wasn't expecting this. Okay. And I've known this dude for like 30 years.
Well, that's the next thing I want to talk about was how long we've fucking known each other.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't stand up with your headphones on because that's my favorite move. That's my favorite move to do. Every time I'm at a famous studio, I stand up and tear everything up doing that.
All right. So you want him to sit here or stay there and just pass the thing to him?
Whichever you think is cool.
Here.
Oh, thank you very much.
Here, have the headphones.
Oh, all right. Get the full experience.
Yeah, put all that on and let me know when you can hear it.
You might need to sit here because I don't think it reaches.
True.
Hey, Misha. Yeah, hold. Yeah, you can never. Those headphones, you can never figure them out. No one can ever figure them out.
They're not going to reach to him.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He needs to sit there.
I just had to get him.
I was just trying to do it without you moving, but there's nowhere to really do it. Check.
All right. Sounds good.
I promise that if you guys come next year and we do Zerpathon 2023 and I have these cats on my show, this is going to make so much more fucking sense. This is going to start like at noon. We're going to start like at fucking noon setting all this shit up. Anyway, introduce yourself and hey to Anbo, y'all.
Hi, this is Ross, a.k.a. Anbo-Jyutsu, and I do I'm kind of a one-man synth pop, sometimes occasional guitar act. And yes, it's the most evolved martial art. No, actually, it's from Star Trek, Next Generation. It's Anbo-Jyutsu is the most evolved martial art, and the joke is that when you find out what the most evolved martial arts is, it's just guys in funny outfits with giant Q-tips like American Gladiators. So
That's Star Trek.
Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, how do I not know that?
I don't know.
We got to get him a picture. It might even come up while we're sitting here watching, but there's this crazy outlandish armor, this big plastic armor. Will Riker is wearing it. And he's fighting his dad in Anbo-Jyutsu.
Yep.
So when Ross told me he was calling his band Anbo-Jyutsu, I was just like, how many people are going to get that? Because I love it. Because I got it instantly. Because Anbo-Jyutsu was like, it sounds real.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly like whatever the other martial arts are.
Yeah.
But I guess they just tweaked, Anyway, why did you pick it and all that jazz?
Well, when I heard the name, I thought, even like the first time I saw it, I thought that would be a great name for a band, like an 80s synth, because it sounds kind of 80s to me. Yeah. It has like kind of an artsy, kind of rhymey name to it. So it's like, well, if I ever start a synth pop, 80s type project, that's the name of it, or that's what's going to be. So.
Just so I can put it to bed, because I've often wondered this myself, the when I first started playing you on XRP a while back, it was under Von Shaman. Do you still do anything under that, or was that completely? In other words, is it two separate? Because I have a buttload of side projects myself. We all do, but is that dead, or is that still going too?
It is for now. I mean, it was more guitar based and actually a little bit bluesier because I use I play guitar with a lot of open tunings on that. I really had a thing for open G, like Keith Richards and and the sus chords and that kind of swampy bluesy feel. So it's not a lot of the songs really translate over. One does, but I haven't gotten around to programming it in the backing tracks yet. So but for the most part, it's I don't really do too much with it just because there's not a lot of demand for it.
Roger. Well, tell us about the first track you're going to play here live in studio, which is also a Pipe Dreams first, and a Cloud 17 first, and everything first, the camera, all this shit. 2 guests at once. So the first song you're going to play for us.
I'm out here raising the bar, son.
MJ Lee, raising the bar as usual.
I'm talking about you.
Oh, you're helping me
I'm
raise.
the first to do this. I'm the first to do that shit all the time. I'm the first to bring this guy.
Dude, next year I want to have all this out on the balcony. We'll just broadcast live.
Patrick is too kind.
But
built a live recording studio while we were on the air, dude.
with guitar and shit.
And we mixed it.
Yeah, and I don't even have the drums and all that set up. But next time I'll play drums with you or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, first song is actually we didn't sound check with it. The first song is "Personal Dance Floor."
Well, I just want everyone to know that this is if this were a live studio venue, which it just sort of turned into a studio and a live concert performance hall, we've never had anyone play here before. So we're going to sound check like live as we get ready, because why not?
That's what they do at the club.
Exactly.
So the first song is the sound check.
Exactly. So your first song will be your sound check. Is that what it's called? Sound check?
Oh yeah.
Is this thing on? That reminds me of a story that I'm not going to tell about telepersonals. You remember that shit?
No.
Okay, I'll tell the story. One day in like 1994, before the internet, before anything, there was this thing on the phone called telepersonals, and you could call telepersonals and talk to other girls, and if they liked you, like, they would listen to your voicemail. If they liked you, they would connect with you, and then you could talk to them. And one day MJ and I did this, but we were so bored. Instead of using our regular voices to be like, "Hey, this is Mike and Dave," and we're like, yeah, just we were Beavis and Butthead in the fucking. And I don't think we got any girls, but it was fun.
Well, Beavis and Butthead never got girls in real life, so that I guess that's kind of life imitating art.
The dynamic of y'all two for a second.
So, personal dance floor basically is just a tune about how sometimes somebody can walk in and just kind of take over a room, with presence or whatever.
Yeah, I see it happen every night.
Yeah, and just trying to get a little of that, or just appreciating it, and maybe a little bit fantasizing that you can have that kind of presence too, and all that. So. So that's what that one, and then the second one is, I guess I'll probably just go right into it, is King of Clubs, which is kind of I think I described it last time as a kind of a cautionary tale. It's about the guy that doesn't know when to go home from the club, and he's just kind of it's basically about me, and, at a point, or at least me thinking that this could be me, so I maybe need to stop doing some of that stuff. But so yeah, it's
shit. I went to a club once and turned it into a 30-year career.
Well, yeah, you're a professional though. I'm not a professional.
For sure.
So.
I just want to say, my friend Phil, who's I've known as long as these guys as well, he used to always talk about how it wore him out that he was the oldest guy at the club, and I get that feeling now when I go places. I feel like the other day at Soft Kill, I was like, I'm probably the oldest motherfucker here.
I would feel that way. Like if I went to places where like I didn't know everybody already, then I would feel like that too. I'd be like, I'm too old to be out here, but I know everybody, so it's like.
I just heard the other day, following the election results, they said something like a third of the whole country is like Gen Z now vote, and I'm like, holy fuck, there's a lot of those little young whippers. So I am old. We are old. But
yeah.
Who cares?
Yep.
Well, you ready to rock, man?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Anbo's going to rock
I'm
out for
forward
us.
to this is going to be crazy. This is like a whole, he's a one-man band over here.
Do you care which mic you use? Because I don't care which one you have. No. You want to keep that one or use this one? I don't care.
Does it matter to you?
It does not matter to me.
Okay, no, I don't even know what the difference is.
They're just different mics. I think yours is not as hot.
Yeah, that was a lot of standing for how on edibles I am.
Well, next time sit on the couch, brother.
I was trying to stay out of the shot, to be professional.
St. Patrick says, I think we need some of that fresh Spanish fly. I think you just got requested to play Cold or something live. I got to confess, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Okay, so because I don't know how we're going to do all this, I'm going to unplug. You won't hear from
figured
us.
out the headphones by myself.
All right, so we're gonna play a short, quick song, just a quick warm-up song, and then we're gonna hear from Anbo-Jyutsu.
Rock and roll never felt this good, she said. That's because your mama didn't teach you electric, kid. Come a little closer, girl, where I can see you. The good won't surface where the wicked are there to meet you. When you're gonna make it okay. It can feel like heaven, but you're gone today. Just teach me the wildlife. Just teach me the wildlife. Just teach me the wildlife. Wall Street dreams never felt this good, he said. That's because your eyes on the money and the lies you spread. Come a little closer, girl, where I can see you. The room stops spinning when strangers stop to meet you. No one left to burn, nothing left to say. Funny how the money makes us friends today. Just teach me the wildlife. 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 of clubs as he pulls out another smoke. Such a dirty habit, such a dirty old man. A joker not in on the joke. And she once was the queen of hearts, but she started to understand. Looking up isn't as easy as it used to be. She overplayed her. And he once was the king of clubs, but now he's sitting in the back. And now he don't have Jack. The former king of ex-queen. Go home. And they walk home. Knows he's no longer the king of clubs as he pushes out. Such a dirty habit, such a taboo. He finally got the joke, and she once was of clubs for an evening she held. But the party was not supposed to end this soon. Now she's stuck in place. Former king of clubs, ex-queen of hearts. They were cards impossible to deal with. Walking home. Thank you.
We're video rolling, but I switched over to this. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to talk for a second and check yakety yak, talkity talk. By the way, I set this up for you, MJ, so you can just kind of get an idea of, what's going on. So that was Anbo-Jyutsu playing the first of two of many songs. He's going to be here in a second to tell us all about that.
This doesn't work, I don't think.
Okay, talk.
Hello. Okay, there we go.
MJ, Anbo-Jyutsu, and Boomsmack with you here on Pipe Dreams Special Zerpathon Edition. If you would like to donate to the wonderful cause that is XRP, good luck, because I don't know how to do it. Here's Anbo.
Oh, you're putting him back? Okay.
Well, I just thought y'all took Okay, so which song did we just hear and all that jazz?
That was Personal Dance Floor and King of Clubs. And coming up, I've got one called My Eyes, which is basically just kind of, just a sappy love song. I don't have too many of those, but I do indulge sometimes. And then I believe after that it's going to be one called This Moment, which is about just, near death experiences and all that stuff. Not that I've experienced too many of those, but I watch a lot of TV. And I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so.
Well, I like knowing what they're about because so many times we hear a song and we don't know. Like I actually thought the King of Clubs was about cards. I'm just kidding. So MJ, talk a second about when I give you the mic, about the different divisions of electronic music, if you would, mostly because of me, because I don't know the difference.
Well, first I wanted to bring back up that I was trying to, when I was talking about Elvis earlier, I remember why I was talking about.
Yes, I love when that happens.
So I want to tell you the story though, because this is important.
Okay.
If you said you wanted to hear it, okay. So back in the '60s, there was an interracial band called the Winstons.
Oh, that's right. We're talking about all the brothers that hung out with Elvis. Yes,
Right.
yes. Go ahead.
So these cats, the Winstons, recorded this song called "Amen, Brother" here in a studio in Atlanta. And this is back in a time where there weren't interracial bands. There was like soul bands and rock bands, and that was that. And so they performed on what was called the Chitlin circuit back in the day, which is where like black musicians played during the 50s and 60s when shit was still fucked up out here. I mean, shit is still fucked up out here, but way more fucked up. So these dudes were interracial, man, and they made this song called "Amen, Brother" that got sampled because there's a 7-second drum break in it called the Amen Break. And that's like the basis for like my first love of electronic music, which is drum and bass.
So you're saying I did that without knowing
so
what it
you're
is?
using Amen breaks in your songs. So my buddy in Charlotte is making a movie about this cat, goddamn Coleman, man. So he was the drummer in this band called the Winstons, and he fucking made this fucking drum break that got sampled and has been used for the basis of all of hip hop and all of
Holy
drum and
shit.
bass, which is the music that I promote and push.
Roger.
And which is a subsection of dance music, you know what I'm saying? It's from the UK. It grew out of the dance hall shit from Jamaica.
I love the name of it too.
Yeah,
Amen
dude.
Break.
So, and it's the basis for that whole genre. So my homie in Charlotte is making this movie, and me and Armani are helping him with it. And it's important, man, because this guy, fucking Coleman, he didn't get any money for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then so like 4 years, I think it's 4 or 5 years ago, I can't remember the dates exactly, but this like started to come to light, and people were like, yo, especially in my genre of music, drum and bass, like everybody was like, yo. So they started these GoFundMes and raised all this fucking money, and the fucking singer of the band took it all. So the drummer's family still ain't got none. So my homie in Charlotte knows these people and is making a fucking movie about this guy. So we're raising money for that right now.
Nice.
Because
We're just raising money all over the place.
This guy needs his just due, man. Coleman.
Wow. Especially if they're using, when I was watching Tales from the Tour Bus, and they started talking.
Dude, I love that shit.
It's the best show ever. But they
Yeah.
started talking to dude. I think it was Rick James, about how we're using. It was one of those cats where they used his song for "You Can't Touch This," and how he at first he got paid, but at first he was like,
Yeah, Rick James.
"Yeah, it must have been so weird to hear."
'Cause that's the Super Freak sample.
Yeah, and this is this is just my opinion. I think Super Freak's a better song.
I mean, duh. Rick James, motherfucker shit.
But
Who's harder than Rick James?
yeah, I just couldn't believe that. I mean, when he sampled it, he took the whole fucking riff.
Yeah.
He didn't. I don't know what the deal with the break is. If it's just a straight derivative or if it's just mildly derivative. But when dude sampled Rick James, he just took the whole fucking.
Yeah, for sure. That was blatant.
Well, can you do with your mouth an example of the beat? We're talking the amen break.
Do.
No, the amen
Oh.
break.
Wait, hold on.
You don't have to straight up make a.
Something like that.
Oh.
But there's like 2 more triplet hi-hats in it.
Well, I just think it's interesting.
You
the
can
whole
look
story.
it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I
and just be
definitely will
like, the
later,
Amen
yeah.
break, and it'll fucking be
Yeah.
like mad people talking about it. So like my homie in Charlotte interviewed Questlove about this guy. Questlove's in the movie talking about like what that beat means to him. like how
yes,
people
dude.
tried to reconstruct it. Like,
Okay.
what did the drums sound like? How big was the room? You know,
Well,
like,
now it's
that's
starting
how-
to remind me of
that's how famous
again
this
on
fucking break is.
Tales from the Tour Bus when they were talking about the one and how they all
Right.
said you got to learn
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the one.
yeah.
It's almost like
James
this is
Brown.
like that. This is like
James
this
Brown
is like
was
music.
You got to know the one.
Yeah, and then after you know the one, you got to know this beat, this
Right.
break, this amen break.
Yeah.
It's like the rules of what you're doing. You got to know how to break, and you got to.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, big ups to my homie and Charlie's putting a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to shine light on this dude. And fucking, like I said, like Goldie's in it. Fucking Questlove's in it.
Damn.
It's fucking. That's how famous this fucking beat is, dude.
That's amazing.
It built whole genres. Like Africa Bambaataa used it, and fucking Cool Herc used it. What's my man's name? Shit, I'm high as fuck, so I can't remember names right now. Fucking. But yeah, I mean, it was the basis of hip hop music, basically,
Wow.
and drum and bass, which is my realm.
Okay, I want to because there's a million things I want to
Anyways,
discuss.
that whole history lesson to say that you're using this break in music that you're
Yeah.
produced, so you're a fucking junglist, dog.
And I didn't even know it.
Yeah, you got to come out to the shows.
Yeah. The track that Ross Anbo-Jyutsu just played,
All right, here you talk.
it's and I think I think you can hear us in here without the headphones.
Yeah.
But the very first time I heard King of Clubs, there's a arpeggiator or a sequence or something in there that reminds me bigger than shit of this video game called The Forsaken. And a million years ago, when I played Forsaken on the Nintendo 64, I was so in love with the audio, I would sometimes just start the game and not even play it. I would just have the music going, and that was rare in Nintendo games. Usually, music made you want to kill somebody. So I put Forsaken in, and then I ended up doing a Candy Apple Black song called The Forsaken. And I want to get back to your music, but I wanted to play a few seconds of this because there's a bit in this that reminds me of your video game. It's just so funny because it's the sound of something you're doing. Not the beat, but when it comes in here in a second, like right here. I don't know why, dude, but this reminds me of yours. There's something about the future.
Up and down.
Just that. It's almost like you could put your ARP over that and it would go with it or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just playing something that I did that his song reminded me of. But we're good with that. We're good at that. Tell us about, huh? That was me. I think if you would really like some of my new shit. It's not like it's good. It's good. Okay, so Ross, I want you to tell me about what you're doing next, and I also wanted to ask you about your. Before we play more of your music, just sort of set the stage for who you are and how you got into music, or at least how you got into the new stuff you're doing now and your inspiration and where you are and stuff.
I've always liked 80s synth pop stuff. Very rarely get a chance to play it, or at least very rarely had a chance to play it, even in high school. I mean, basically, if you wanted to sing in a band, you had to know some Led Zeppelin, you had to know some Rush, you had to, which nothing wrong with that,
No.
it's but at the same time, I mean, it's I'd go and I'd sing Van Halen songs, and which again, nothing wrong with that. Van Halen, Rush.
Well, Rush had some good synthesizers in Rush, and
oh yeah, well, it's funny, at the time I didn't even know how to play. I mean,
right.
I would just sing, but then I'd go home, I'd listen to Duran Duran, U2, The Police, Human League, and and like that. So, but
Come to our fucking 80s night, dog.
dude, he would be made for that shit. I'm telling you.
but I would so and it's pretty much always been usually if it's not like rock and roll, it's punk rock or something with leather jackets and being macho and all that stuff. So so when we had the COVID lockdowns, I basically had nothing to do, and also I didn't have any expectations. So I was basically like, well, how about if I just write a bunch of stuff that I would listen to and that is danceable and that concentrate, the things that musically and lyrically, the things that I want to say, and I can sing them, in my way without trying to hit the big note, and all that stuff. Because sometimes that gets a little bit much. I mean, because I like stuff like that, but most of the stuff I listen to is a little bit lower key. Human League, Japan, some Duran Duran, although he can get up there in the high notes. But I generally try to keep the high notes in my back pocket, because if you sit there, I mean, I don't know, I'm not even sure if I could do it, but if you're just sitting there doing high notes the whole time, they lose their impact. And it's, whereas if you just sing regularly and you kind of pull it out of your back pocket for an impactful moment, that's, to me, that's a little bit better, because it's just like if you sing low all the time, or, if you sing high all the time, it doesn't mean anything after a minute or two. People just get tired of listening to it.
Do you have a typical register or key you stick to, or do you kind of go?
Mostly mid-range. Since I'm kind of doing my own thing, I don't have to worry, because forever I've had you have to sing it in this note, or if you're or in this key, or if you're in a tribute band, you have to sing it like this guy, which again, that's not.
I did a cover once of a song, and the guy changed the key because he's like, I can't do that key, so we did a really famous cover, but we transposed it and it worked.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
and that's the thing though. In most bands, you don't really get that kind of flexibility. Most people I tune to E, you sing to E, and if you can't or don't want to do that, then then there's going to be friction. Whereas if you have if it's just you. Or if you have an accommodating band, you can say, well, I maybe can't hit that note. How about if I just tune down, or just pick a different key altogether, or sing it in a different voice, or a different register, and then that so it's because I've been on both sides of it. I mean, I play guitar with a band called Airwolves for I guess about a year and a half, and I didn't do too much in the vocal side of it, but I'm kind of familiar with that as far as. That's the other thing too, is being in a band where the guitar kind of fights the vocals, because a lot of times frequency wise they're the same, whereas the stuff I do is kind of more like call and response, or I have the guitar down low enough to where you can hear the vocal, because I always believe that any band lives and dies by the vocals. I mean, you can have the best musicians in the world, but if you can't hear the vocals, or if you don't like the vocalist, you're not going to like the band.
Which layer do you tend to start with? Do you start with a beat, or do you start with keys, or do you start with the melody, or how do you go?
It really just depends. I've kind of started with everything, at one point or another. I generally try to have a book of lyrics that way if I have a song, I can just kind of quick have something in there, even if it's just as a placeholder.
I think a melody is harder to find than the lyrics. Lyrics to me are easier to come up with than the melody. I've always found.
Well, to me, if you have a nice bed, a nice progression or chord or even bass, and you have some lyrics, a lot of times it kind of leads the way. It kind of to me it tells you what the melody should be almost, just because of the natural cadence of whatever the syllables are you're using. That's been my experience anyway.
Right on. Well, tell us about the next one. You want to do some more?
Yeah, absolutely. Next one is
you can do 2 or 3 in a row.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do a couple. Is My Eyes, the love song.
Get Dave to drum on them for you.
Well, we'll do that next time, because I have a drum pad. That would take so much.
I know I made it look really easy setting it up, but and
I
appreciate your faith in my
But like
abilities.
I said, if we do this again, I like the idea of you having a conga and I've got a little drum, and we just
set up shows. I know what that took. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I've been saying it a bunch of times. You guys just set up a live performance fucking studio in 30 minutes.
It's like a little military operation.
yeah.
So, but yeah, and then the next one is This Moment, and to be perfectly honest, I can't remember what the next one is, but I'll.
Well, you can just tell us at the time.
Tell
us at the time. All right, guys. Anbo-Jyutsu live at Cloud 17, special Zerpathon. What you call it? We're gonna listen to some. Hold on, I can't get up. We're gonna listen to Anbo-Jyutsu again, and
one-man new wave band.
One-man new wave band. It's anyway. So hope you're enjoying it. We'll be right back after we listen to some Anbo-Jyutsu.
I look like Santa Claus.
I'm going to play this really cool song by Parallax Faction.
Imagine a time when everyone is aware of what everyone else is thinking. when even the most private thoughts are exposed for all the world to see. Every thought about their emotional state, their opinions of their children, of their partners, of their failures with their pets, and the forensic details of their meals, photographed, displayed, and commented upon. When the mere act of successfully toasting cheese is lauded by your peers, and the entire world has something to say about what you did at that party 5 years ago. These things were not forced out of people. They did it voluntarily, of their own free will. Because for them, it was status. What were they thinking?
But also, like I said, talk a little. You could go down and just say a little bit about the song. Or
Okay.
you don't have to.
It's flipped over to him now, yeah?
Yeah, it's going.
Okay. The song is My Eyes. This is one of the few love songs, but I hope you like it. Oh, same here. Did I hit it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll leave it again.
Do I need to plug something in?
I think so.
Oh, hell. Dead air, son. Play a song.
Because everything is plugged in and on over here, so there's no reason why we shouldn't hear him like gangbusters. Huh. Everything is up, it's turned on, you're plugged in, your mic's
Two.
so it's not over here.
Oh, maybe the computer's down. Or let me try it again.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Play a song.
Well, if I do, you might be ready in a second.
I think he's got to reboot.
That's way loud. This is so loud.
It's so easy to fall into death when you are without that reassuring touch. But when you hear a voice from home, fear of the unknown doesn't have to mean so much. So much, but you know it breaks my heart when you forget who you are. If I could shine a light, I'd remind you. Close your eyes and I will find you. With my eyes in my heart. With my eyes in my heart. To do is be yourself and see yourself the way that I see you, with my eyes and my heart, with my eyes and my heart. But when you hear a voice from home, so much. With my eyes in my heart. With my eyes in my heart. My eyes in my heart. With my eyes in my heart. Something beautiful in yourself. Something beautiful in yourself. Something beautiful. Thank you. This is This Moment.
Feel free to put those. Well, you don't have to.
In last moments, time is skewed. In fast forward, life's review. I've had a million moments of truth, even though I have no proof. This moment is frozen in time. This moment I've stolen is now mine. This moment is frozen in time. This time I'm holding it all mine. The pendulum stops in place, and I'm frozen upon the face. There's discord with time and space, locking up the gears and chains. This moment is frozen in time. This moment I've stolen is now mine. This moment is frozen in time. This time I'm holding it all mine. And through it all I can only think of you. That's the only thing that gets me through. Through it all I can only think of you. That's what always gets me. And just as fast as it began, time is free to march again. I can still pursue my plans, but it's not for me to understand. This moment is frozen in time. This moment I've stolen is now mine. This moment is frozen in time. This moment I'm holding is all mine. And through it all I can only think of you. That's the only thing that gets me through.
That one's about life and death, near-death experiences. What I always figured it would be like. So I haven't had any near-death experiences, thankfully. But
There's always time.
yep, there is. Well, I will tell you about the next one because it does have a little bit of a funny story involving Dave and. I just repeat your question.
Yeah, repeat it, 'cause, yeah.
So listen, well, I don't know if I should say it or not. I want to tell you something about that song, but you were just over here talking about how important it was for you to have your own voice and use your own voice and fucking and be your own man, and that's why you're doing it all by yourself. And so I don't want to give you constructive criticism, but you almost have a hit there. I will tell you the criticism if you want to hear it, but I don't want to.
It was funky as.
Yeah, dude.
Well, glad you. Yeah.
There's a new genre right now coming out in Europe called new disco, and it's all like 80 cent fucking like, but it's like housey.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So if you put your voice through a vocoder and sing those same fucking lyrics, and maybe Jay put some drums over it, like a housey kind of fucking rock beat over that, we could sign that to a label, dog.
It could be good.
Yeah.
I'll definitely talk more with you about it after I'm actually a tad dry, so I'm not at my best vocally, but that's.
I'm not criticizing
but-
vocals. I'm just telling you that would be a dance hit.
Oh yeah, I would take it. Vocoder or no vocoder, I would take it.
Okay, all right.
Well, I remember we talked a little about a vocoder specter and the what was that?
I don't want you to think I'm saying like it's your voice. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
I'm
it's.
saying like the sound that would be a hint in, which is what the new sound out of Europe is.
Yeah.
Now it's called new disco.
I got.
That's what that is.
I got this. Although it's an old school vocoder, I brought it along in case Dave wanted to do some copy or something. But I'm not as good with it as like with the software where you just sing it and it automatically puts it up. You have to play what you're singing, and I'm not great at that. That's why the vocoder you're about to hear is on a backing track. So, but I do have vocoder, and it's pretty flexible. And I have one in here too, but I don't have the attachment for it. But so.
Basically paying you a compliment. Like that's how good that song is.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'll take any compliment I can get.
I even dance. I never dance.
Yeah, dude.
How was I say? I haven't seen you. I don't dance very often. Well, I will tell you the next song is I Am Stretched on Your Rave, which is Dave and I. We were in the XRP chat. This is like an XRP centric story, actually. We were just goofing off and being stupid like we usually do. Just kind of puns and just stupid jokes and whatever. So, I forget how we got on the subject, but we thought how funny it would be if Dead Can Dance did a disco song, or what it would be like. So I was like, because there's and they do a traditional Irish song. I can sing it on here because it's traditional, it's public domain. But that I am stretched on your grave. And I basically just kind of lifted that. Yeah, so I kind of incorporated it into this, except it's, I'm stretched at your rave, and I will dance here forever, which is basically, about when you're at the club with somebody, that's having a great time, and they're drunk and they're meeting people, and you're the designated driver, or for whatever reason you're just not, and you're sitting there just, you might be getting drunk, you might not, but you're just like, I'm going to be here forever. This is my life now, So everybody's been there. So.
Well, I know what he means for sure.
All right.
I was always a designated driver because I don't drink, and everybody was ready to go. I was ready to go hours before everyone else, always.
Yeah, you're not a big drinker,
But
so.
that's the thing with his thing. It's so fucking 80s and fun. Next thing you know, it's 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Yep, that's how it goes.
Come to that.
You gotta come, dude, and you have a blast. It's a fun time.
I believe it. All right, you ready?
Yeah, what's next?
All right, I am stretched at your rave. Backing track. I
logic, I cannot be saved. Emotions always will invade, and not much of a difference will be made. 'Cause this is where I land every time I fall, when I want to forget it all. It's the number on the wall of the stall I call. I am stretched at this rate, and I will dance here forever. Just a second. I just want to.
Okay.
Okay.
Because like I said, next year when we do this right, we can have mics where Mike and I can talk to you while we're actually doing all this.
The next part I've got. I basically switched the guitar on for a couple songs. So.
You want to talk for a while?
Yeah, I can talk for a few minutes and then.
All right, both microphones work now. Actually, so yeah, so he can hear. We won't have to use the headphones. We'll just turn it up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need headphones. I mean, I can hear you guys.
That's what I'm saying. Check.
Checkity check check.
Checkity check check. Hit me with a check.
Check one. Czechoslovakia.
Yeah. Testicles on these. Hey everybody. It's Anbo and MJ, and MJ's always reminding me about the camera because I fucking can't ever remember it. So MJ, Anbo, tell us. Well, you tell us what you thought about all those songs, and then I want him to tell us what he thought about all those songs.
You need a mic.
I want him to tell us. Yeah. He needs
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Because
I know what he thinks about these songs.
Oh, Ross over here making house bangers don't even know it, son. I mean, like, a little fucking remix on that, dude. That's what Ibiza sounds like right now. Like, you could be out here doing this shit, dog.
Yeah, I'd be all about it.
For sure. I'll take your fuck, kid. But I wasn't trying to come off like that. But, like, I'm telling you, like, you got a sound right here. And if you, like, just fine tune it a little bit, dude, like, you could be fucking signing label deals. That's a banger. You could make that a house tune right now. And that's like what Ibiza sounds like this summer.
That's right up my alley. I mean,
for sure, let's go.
So to put this all in perspective, real quick,
banger,
before
son.
these two talk about that,
And the one before that,
1990,
too.
1991, I met these two dudes. I think it was the same year. So 1991, that's how long we've known each other. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So when you see us talking about his music, 30 years, and he's now hearing it. You know, like.
Yeah.
And he's telling me that I've got these cool beats 30 years late. So that just shows you how deep the history is. But yeah, just talk about whatever y'all want. Talk about the music.
Yo, I was feeling it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you listen to me about a couple fine tunes, like
that's all I go for is the dance. I mean, the dance music. I mean, because the way I look at it,
that's my whole life, dog.
well, in this town, especially like Atlanta, everything's rock and roll or it's country.
What are you talking about?
I mean, well,
there's a whole world out here, son.
Well, I have, as far as like live performance, I haven't.
Bro,
I am in with.
There's a lot of rock.
There's a ton of rock, but there's also there's a pretty good synth scene. I like to think I'm a part of it. I do play plenty of shows, and I have some friends that I generally.
You got to come hang out with me one night, dog. Your whole world will change.
All right, yes, sound. I'm always
digital stuff, and you do digital stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm always.
There's a whole world out here, son.
Do you have like live bands that you promote, or how do you?
Absolutely.
How do you okay, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this. We've all known each other for 30 years. And we don't know what the fuck.
Okay, so like about 30 years ago, after when we all stopped, I used to live with Dave. Dave saved my life when I was a kid. He took me in because I couldn't stay at the crib anymore. He's part of my life story. If anybody's ever heard me tell my life story, this is 7'2" Dave, and he's one of my oldest friends in life. So that's why I'm here doing this show. So I knew Ross back then. But so like back then I started throwing raves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And fucking have been doing that basically for 30 years now.
Oh, okay.
And as the music's grown, I've grown with it. So I've managed a bunch of acts and like I brought like a bunch of huge ass fucking like $500,000 DJs to town here. And
see, I've heard the DJ
we throw
part.
festivals all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Like we out here, son.
Yeah.
There's a whole world, dude.
and
that's the sound that's like the next trend that's coming in the next year to America is going to be that sound.
I could,
if you listen to me.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, and that wouldn't be.
This is my world.
That wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, that's.
Like if you were probably playing like acoustic folk music, you probably wouldn't have a lot to say.
Yeah, that's very correct.
Well, I feel warmly toward your acoustic guitar.
For sure.
So
that's a hit, son.
Yeah, okay. I got a couple.
Both
more.
of those songs. Those are like, I mean, I'm telling you, you can make those dance tunes and you're out of here. You're gonna be a fucking
we were
DJ.
Just sitting here saying little tiny things like a little clap here, a little
dude,
conga here, like tiny little things to make it.
An
open hi hat here.
I'll confess
like
to being
808 house beat over that.
I'll confess to being pretty
son.
I'm pretty lazy when it comes to because normally what will happen is I'll write something and I'll just lay down like a drum track and it basically it's just a loop. And I'm like, well, that'll just be a placeholder. I'll come back, and then I never come back to it. So so some of my drums can be a little bit vanilla sounding, but I try to I almost use it as like a challenge just to dress it up with as much bass and other rhythm as I can. But that's not to say that you still can use a little dressing up. But that's one of those things.
When you go home tonight, look up a band called STS9.
Okay.
And watch them on YouTube.
Okay.
And they play festivals all over the world, and they play like they're kind of jam bandy, but they incorporate a lot of electronica, to use a phrase from the 90s, into their shit, and they're huge. I mean, I can name Big Gigantic. Look them up. The fucking guy's playing drums. There's a guy fucking playing a live saxophone. Grizz is one of the biggest DJs in the world. He plays live sax over his shit. That's what's cracking right now. You show up with this shit, do a one-man show, but make it more dancey, you're going to be a hit, son.
Challenge accepted.
For sure. That shit's dope.
So I got, it's for the, I guess, last bit, I've got mostly guitar-based songs. And I've got, and they're a little less dancey, but you might like them anyway. So, they're a little less dancey, but you might like them anyway. So. I've got Weightless coming up, which is Saint Patrick's is in the chat. He did a killer remix of it, and and it's basically just about what it sounds like it's about. Just how you can lift a weight off your shoulders by forgiving and by being forgiven. It's there's nothing really hidden about it. It's a fairly straightforward song, and then I have and I guess following that will be. ex-secret agent, which is, again, I watch a lot of TV, or used to watch a lot of TV and movies, so I'll try not to ruin the mystique of that one too much, and then I'm going to round it out with the so-called information age, which is just about how people can kind of get dragged through the mud in the press, fairly or not fairly, and it's just either way, there's really nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So.
It's almost like the too much information age.
Yeah, exactly. It's and when
So
when you have all of it, you don't have any of it because you don't know how to parse through it.
All right, so we'll listen to those.
I will.
You're onto something with this.
Oh,
You just gotta listen to me.
It's funkin' groover. I want to do one thing. You both talk. I want to do one more thing before he plays.
hey, do you have any more bottled water?
I was about to say I want to get you some water.
Oh, okay, I appreciate it.
Bro, I'm over here with a cotton mouth, son. Yeah, you got a vibe going, Ross. You over here making house bangers and don't even know it.
Yeah, I was kind of worried that it sounds that it would sound dated just because that's a lot of the stuff that I listen to.
It's all coming back right now. That's what I'm saying. This
But I love
new
some of the
disco
stuff
sound
that's
is like 80 cent fucking, but it's like housey, and that's like what the trend is right now.
Yeah,
So you're right on time with it.
for once.
For sure.
So,
This is my, like, if you fine tune it a little bit, you go to my world and take off.
well, I got a Behringer TD3, which is kind of like the Roland, and I was like, and I really wanted to make it work, but I just didn't have the patience to program it, and all that. But I still, the rest of the stuff, I feel like I'm at least kind of. I figure if I get to that point, I can maybe find somebody that can show me what to do, or can just do it and
For sure.
and lend me that talent. So, well, Dave is hooking me up with a bottled water, and then these other ones are a little bit rockier, a little bit sing outier.
All right.
So,
I'm impressed, Ross. You got a vibe going.
oh, thanks, I appreciate it. I just, yeah, I'm a little surprised at the reception I've gotten. I mean, I played pretty regularly at Sweetwater over in Duluth.
Okay.
And then in Carrollton, I played a place called the Alley Cat a bunch, and I played Sabbath a few times down in East Atlanta. So
For
it's
sure.
so I'm and it's I'm still kind of building it up. Thanks, sir. I'm still kind of building it up, but I do have some folks that will come and that will come just to see me, and I do pretty good on the merch. Getting there. It's funny though, because I actually I've come up with new merch, but I'm just kind of waiting until after Christmas to print it up. Just family stuff, you don't want to spend all your money on merch and then have to.
So what's your goal for it? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
Because I manage acts. That's what I do.
Basically, I haven't really given it a lot of thought because I haven't had a lot of success.
Right.
So
you're over here talking about. I mean, I'm not trying to compare here or anything like that, but like you're talking about a bar in Carrollton. I'm talking about I've thrown shows at Tabernacle, at Masquerade, at Center Stage. Like,
no, if I can meet that, if I can make that jump, I mean, that's and like I said, I've been at this for I guess about a year and a half or so. It hasn't been long.
Or something, or is that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, shoot, 100%. I mean, I'd be, I'm trying to basically see how far I can take it, and just
Okay.
So that fits right in with my game plan. If that's something you're interested in doing, I'm do what you want. I mean, I'll be
Ross,
all about it.
I'm telling you, you got to listen to me though. You can't take it personal if I say change this, change that. I don't. You just sat over here talking about 30 minutes how you wanted to be your own man and shit. I'm not trying to step on you.
Oh, no,
but I'm telling you, you got a vibe here, and I can help you.
Well, there's doing it yourself, and then there's like not taking advice. I mean, to me, taking advice doesn't necessarily mean that you're not on your. I mean, basically, when I say just doing it on my own, actually, a lot of it is just by default. I mean, a lot because lockdowns and just I don't know a lot of people that are into it that would really that to have that band. I mean, I've tried it a couple times and it just hasn't worked. And
Dave said he played drums over it. I bet that would fucking crush.
Oh
son.
yeah, it'd be.
You got to listen to me too, though. If I take this on,
What's up? I'm listening. I'm just setting knobs. And
if you guys form this thing, I don't want to talk about this on air. Fuck this. But fucking,
put your mic near your mouth. Neither one of you are doing that. No one can hear anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
my bad. That was a whole rambling conversation. I was giving them like managerial tips the whole time.
I love that. I'm sitting here thinking how cool it is because I'm seeing you doing what you do and you doing what you do but it's organic. We didn't set this up.
Yeah,
It's
I didn't even
organic,
know
and I
this
love
was
that.
happening.
I love that. So I say y'all just go ahead. But anytime we're ready.
But you need to play drums on it, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And then if I take this on to try and make it something, you got to listen to me,
Yeah.
because I know what the fuck
I
I'm
love
talking
working
about.
with Ross. Like,
All right.
I wasn't even going to do the fly if I wasn't going to do it with him. Like,
Yeah, we've been working together for a while. We got the Fly, the One Will Burn. with
Oh,
the-
you're in Fly too?
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody that's watching this now doesn't know Dave. Okay, so my favorite band of all time is The Cure. And Dave here, and I just realized Ross also is in a tribute band called Freshly Squashed Fly, and they're fucking uncanny. Uncanny, son. They sound just like them. It's amazing. So check that out, Freshly Squashed Fly.
so we can't play covers on XRP.
Yeah, you guys fucking are sick.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I'm not easy to impress either.
Yeah, we played with in the Joy Division tribute and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we've been.
In the Swarm in 1991.
Have you seen
the last
Interstellar Echoes? They're a Pink Floyd tribute band here in town.
No, I've heard of them, but I haven't seen
Yo,
them.
you got to come see them with me. They're incredible.
Oh, okay.
Incredible. Like, when I first got turned on to them, I went to see them the next 13 shows in a row.
Nice.
Because I eat, mushrooms and shit. Go fucking, and my buddies do the lasers for them.
Oh, okay.
So it's fucking like, it's out of this. It's a whole laser show with the, and my buddies are the guys that do the lasers.
Oh, okay.
Joey Appleseed, shout out.
Nice.
And so yeah, we go and eat some mushrooms and fucking. It sounds just like you can, if you close your eyes, you wouldn't be able to tell. It's note for note. They're amazing. I've seen them 13 times, and I haven't been able to see them since the pandemic. So I want to go see them.
Yeah.
And they're playing at Terminal West soon, so we should go to that one. That'll be a good theater.
It's a good
show.
place.
Great venue.
Are you
Yeah.
a Pink Floyd fan?
Yeah, I like them pretty well.
Oh my God! Come on. You're a Pink Floyd fan?
I mean, I don't.
You
think
got to come see them with
I
me.
mean,
They're incredible.
I think they're good. I've been listening to them forever. So I mean,
They're one of the most incredible bands of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Period. I mean, the foundation for so much music that we have now. I mean, I'm into psychedelia, so I listen to a lot of psychedelic music. So it's especially for that. Without Pink Floyd, I don't know where we'd be.
yeah.
All right, here's Dave.
Yeah. We're about to hear some more Anbo-Jyutsu live here in the studio. I just wanted to say real quick, this is a Zerbathon, so give till it hurts and support this. So for the station, for the radio station, we do this every year. Here's our little.
Here you go, man. Let me set up.
But let's get people donating to that. And I'm going to try to find out the donate link because I had it and I dropped the ball on that. Yeah, about Pink Floyd, I recently, because I do this every year, so I play around and I try to, the way I looked at it was, instead of trying to put your top 5 or your favorite bands or your favorite whatever, the way I looked at it was, someone tells you, we're sending you to outer space, we're sending you to Mars or wherever with some MP3s, and you give me 5 bands and you get everything we've ever done, but you get nothing else.
Right.
And so when I thought about that, and I thought, I cannot go the rest of my life and not hear Pink Floyd.
Me either.
I had to when I did it, when I looked at it that way, like never hearing a band ever again. And again, I don't want to offend anybody, but if I had to never hear Depeche Mode again, I could live with that. But if I had to never hear
I don't know
Metallica
about that,
again, I could not live with that. Like there were certain bands, Pink Floyd, the 5 I came up with were the Sisters of Mercy, The Cure, Bauhaus, Pink Floyd, and Metallica. Like, those aren't necessarily my 5 favorite bands, but I just couldn't imagine the way I feel when I hear Floyd and Metallica. Like, we're talking, put 6 albums on.
Right.
Don't give me that playlist crap. Play the whole fucking album. I just love them, dude. Love them.
Me too.
That's all
Have
I
you
meant.
seen the Echoes yet?
No, the closest I've come to seeing a tribute band is when they, back at the center stage, they did a whole movie of a soundtrack. They played the Floyd, and then they had, like, all these lights as if you were at the show.
The laser show?
Huh?
The Pink Floyd laser show?
Yeah, it was like a laser show back in the 90s at center stage or something.
Yeah, I've been to all of them.
Yeah. But I've never been a fan of cover bands until I was in a couple. And I still
That's
don't-
what I was. Okay, so this is what I want to make the point of. This is how incredible these guys are. I used to laugh at cover bands. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
And then I saw these guys,
I used
and
to
now
laugh.
I'm over here talking about, remember I was talking about maybe getting your band because I was like, yo, I'm going to throw a tribute band festival.
Yeah.
And then, so where we do our 80s night, well, I don't know if we've released this information. How many people are watching this right
Man, I don't even know.
now? Okay, so we're about to move our 80s night to this venue that's famous for like hosting tribute bands. So now it's all like coming full circle. Like, let's throw a festival together and fucking do a bunch of tribute bands. And that's what I was talking
And get
about.
Erica Visa.
Yeah, so that's when I was talking about getting Freshly Squashed Fly on that, because you guys fucking are incredible.
Well, I'm glad that you like it, but the fact that you like it and you're such a Cure fan sort of legitimizes how I feel about it, because
But without
impressing you is hard as fuck.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I agree with that. And what I'm saying also is, without these Interstellar Echo guys, I don't know if I would have taken to your
Roger that.
cover band. With
And
such
without
an
being
open
in
mind.
One Will Burn with Ross, I don't think I
Yeah.
would have ever thought cover bands were anything but a jukebox.
Like, so I'm friends with this guy, Tim Sweetwood. We used to throw parties at this club called Masquerade here together. And like, I
think I've heard of that
I
place.
would tell him about all the EDM acts, and he would tell me about all the indie bands. So we like educated each other. And then he went on to start a music festival here called Shaky Knees and Shaky Beats, and they did a Shaky Boots, which was a country one. But so I would help with like booking the locals and the regionals for Shaky Beats and shit. And what the fuck was the point of bringing up Sweetwood?
Dude, I don't
what
even
was
know.
I talking about?
What was the point of anything, to be honest?
Holy shit! What was I saying?
I can't wait to listen to this show afterwards.
Oh my goodness! I can't.
you were
believe
talking
I
about
just-
shaky knees?
Yeah, but why?
You'll remember it in 5 minutes the same way you did with the Elvis thing. So let's
Yeah.
go ahead and get over to Anbo. We're going to play some
Why would I
Anbo.
drop his name without having a point, though? What the fuck?
Is it 3 songs, Jitsu, or 4? Tell me what's that we're about to hear. However many you want to do, whatever ones you want to do.
It's going to be 4. We've got Weightless, and then Model Efficiency,
Okay.
and then X Secret Agent, and then I'm going to wrap it up with
All right.
so-called Information.
Well, everybody, you should know that I've got a name for one of the ZERP raffle winners. I will announce the winner of the raffle and what they have won right after this set from Anbo-Jyutsu. We're going to hear a quick short song by me, Candy Apple Black, and then we're going to change the wires and plug in and listen to Anbo-Jyutsu live.
Yeah.
Thank you, and this is Weightless. I look to the sky. Who would have thought this beautiful day would be like my darkest times? Maybe I'm blind, but I can't find the answers that seem so obvious to anyone else. I don't know why, but if only I could be forgiven. If only I could be forgiven, I'd be weightless. Right to the sky, lifted from these tight shoulders of mine, and I'm happy to be alive. Happy to be alive. Stare down inside me. No one knows what I feel. I close my eyes, the better to see what's been in front of me this whole time. If only I could be forgiven, I'd be weightless. Right to the sky, lifted from these tight shoulders of mine, and I'm happy to be alive. Happy to be alive. What you get is what you see. I do what I have to do it quick, do it clean. I hear you have a job for me. Now the deed is done, and your little
thoughts. Sometimes people are so glad to hear the job did not go bad. They have a few regrets, just a few regrets. This was like the last time, or like time before. This time you'll do it. Be careful what you wish for. 'Cause I'm a model of efficiency, like I said before. You told me you were sure, now you're crying on the floor. I did what I was paid for, nothing less, nothing more. Because you had a job for job for me. Thank you. page. For my reputation, consistent as the automation of the printing press, not the front page. Just another day. Information, just another day. So long information, a reaction to the reaction, and the satisfaction from the retraction. It's very deep in the middle of the 6th page. Who will give me back my name? No one remembers the splendor. Not enough of all the smoke. No one wants to know the rush of independence. Just another day. So long information. Just another day. So long information. It's just another day. So-called information, just another day. So-called information, another Thank you. I've been Anbo-Jyutsu, and you've been XRP and Unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Hey. All right, we're so technical here. We've got the microphones. So before I mention the raffle winner, I want to thank both these guys. We still have 2 more hours. I'm just saying thank you for coming out. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks for giving your hard-earned dollars to XRP, a.k.a. pounds, or whatever your money is. But yeah, Anbo, that was awesome. When you get done breaking down, come over here and, yeah, these fucking headphones. It took me so long to fucking figure this out.
I'm just turning everything off. I'm not.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm just saying whenever you come back over here. Since you were playing and performing and you couldn't hear, we've got chat on YouTube, we got chat on Facebook, we got chat at XRP and chat in StreamYard, so I didn't see all of it. But I saw a couple of cool comments. Mish Happening said I can live without Metallica, but you got to have Depeche Mode.
I agree.
I go along with that.
Depeche Mode is foundational.
They are, but I think Metallica is. You just don't understand how important that band is to me. But any band in my top like 50 would be like a super bummer not to ever hear Dead Can Dance or any ever again.
Dead Can Dance is
but I'm just saying when
five.
I sat there with the super serious look on my face, I got to hear Sanitarium, but I don't goddamn got to hear Blasphemous Rumors, even though I fucking love it. But I got to hear Metallica. That's why Bauhaus didn't make the list. I fucking love Bauhaus, probably more than Metallica. But if I never hear Bauhaus again, I can do that. I could go in my room and make Bauhaus. I don't even need to hear it. I mean, I don't even listen to The Cure anymore since we do our thing. I'm serious. I don't even listen to The Cure anymore.
What blasphemy.
But I can't remember the last time I listened to The Cure because I'm sitting here doing it and shit.
If you make it your job, it takes
Boy, don't I know.
Oh, I learned that making Guitar Center for 6 years selling drums, and I was like, I don't think it's a good idea to make your hobby.
Like any dance
job.
music song that you've ever heard for the last 30 years, I heard it like 3 years before that. So like,
So you're pretty well.
yeah.
Burnt out on it.
I mean,
You're going to be burnt out on it.
yeah. I mean, I still love it. So that's what I'm blessed with is I've been able to reinvent myself and stay relevant for as long as I have, and that comes from just loving the music that much. You know what I'm saying? My motto is I bust my ass so you can shake your ass.
That's a good one.
I live for this shit.
My motto is I've got no ass because you guys got in line
I've
twice.
made it my whole adult career. That's all I've been doing my whole adult life.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Except for that time at Taco Mat.
That was before I was an adult.
I know.
I mean, I consider being 21 an adult. I started throwing parties when I was 21.
Did you actually work at the T-Mac? Because I just said that as a joke. Because you and I, there wasn't a restaurant in 78 we didn't fucking work at.
That's true. The
Pleasant Hill or
the
Bistro
last
Boulevard.
job that I ever had where somebody cut me a check for showing up somewhere
Yeah.
was Planet Hollywood.
Oh, I did that. I did that too.
Yeah.
Dude, we must.
I think you got me the gig
half
there.
the
I
places
think.
we worked
Yeah.
at, we must have worked at the same.
That was-
Real quick.
And that was like 96. I've been throwing raves nonstop ever since.
I'm going to tell real quick the story of how I met both of these guys because they're both decent. They're not as good as the Rob Hunt story, goddammit. Which is the craziest way you can ever meet somebody. But in 1991, a buddy of mine and I went out all up and down the highway applying at every restaurant you can find because we needed a job and we didn't care. We just went to Chili's and everywhere. And a few days later, Applebee's calls me and says, we want to hire you fry side line cook or some shit. And I was like, hell yes. So I went in there and I got the job. And I met MJ here the first day. Him and Missy trained me.
Yeah.
But what I didn't find out till years later was Jim Leonard he and I went to apply at the same day. And Jim actually got called, for whatever reason, his resume was on top or whatever. They called him first. And he said no. So they never would have called me, and I never would have met you. I mean, maybe. But anyway, so Jim didn't take the job, and I did, and then that's how all that happened.
Yep.
And then the fucking Ross story was I met him at a party that I don't even know if I was even invited to it. I didn't know the host. I don't remember the host. It may have been Vroman. I don't remember. It was in an apartment. And you were there, and Robert Hatch was there, and I was there. And you and Hatch knew each other, I think, but I didn't know either of you guys. And all we did was we made casual party acquaintances level friendship on we all like the same music. We all like the same this, that, and the other. And then the party's over, and I go home and think I'm never going to see these guys again. And then a few days later, International Ballroom, Susie and the Banshees, and you're both there. Yeah. And I was like, this is too weird. We've got to be friends. So that's how that started.
We also met because of music, because I was in the walk-in freezer, like, singing something, right? And you walked in, like...
Always. You were always singing.
Yeah.
You were always singing, and it was like pre-Dave, you were singing, like, probably Motley Crue or Guns, and then post-Dave, you were probably singing Jane's Addiction and fucking...
No, I think I was singing Jane's Addiction
you were
when I
already singing
met...
Jane's
Yeah,
Addiction,
and you
yeah.
walked up like, yo, I love those...
I think it was the Here We Go line.
Yeah.
And you never walked. You kind of slid through the whole fucking fish ring and everything. And
Yeah. I lived at that place.
Well, if you work in
You
the
did.
restaurant in the back rooms, that's like the floors are usually so slippery anyway. That's
You know, so I was homeless, so I would, like... I worked there for, like, 4 months, and it was the assistant kitchen manager when I was, like, 17.
you were there 30 hours a day.
Yeah, because I literally would go in at like 4 a.m. They would cut me a check for like $260 a week or whatever. And then, and I stayed at this Days Inn hotel across the street, and the weekly rent there was exactly what the check was.
oh man.
So I would just eat there. And then I meet Dave, and because they're like, you got to train this guy. And I turned around and walked into his stomach. And I was like, holy fuck, you're tall. And that's literally the last time I've ever brought it up.
Yeah. You only brought it up that one time.
Yeah, and because everywhere we go, people are like,
Oh, yeah.
because we were inseparable for years, and because he took me in, we went to across the street to the Waffle House or some shit, right?
Waffle House?
Yeah,
Oh,
And-
Dunkin' Donuts.
it was a Dunkin' Donuts. That's right, on Highway 78 in Stone Mountain, son, and I've been in these streets, and
dude, it just happened with Rodney King. It had just like happened.
yeah, we were talking about how fucked up the fucking Rodney King shit was, and fuck the police, and he was like, "Yo, I like you," and
Well, I liked you instantly, even though you had like all your
Yeah, man, I was a metalhead then. Dave put me on to a whole lot of music.
Well, I can't make fun of you because I was a metalhead 5 years before I met you. So.
Right. Says anyways, yeah. He was like, yo, you can come live with me and my mom. And like, how are you ever going to get ahead if you're spending every dollar in this hotel across the street?
Yeah.
And that changed my life, man.
And then I went home and asked my mom if it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Dave, we've known each other. You're my oldest friend.
I know you two knees ago. I met you.
Yeah.
Real knees.
Bro. All right, let's play some more music.
Let's play some more music. Okay, I thought it would be, wow, when you put the mic in your mouth, I thought it would be cool to start off with this. This is a remix of a Anbo-Jyutsu song done by Saint P.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know how much Anbo helped him, or if it was like a collab, or if he just said, you just take this and do whatever the fuck you want. Why don't we ask him what happened?
It started out like that, but because it was, I actually did, there's a Von Shaman version of it as well. And so, but the tracks weren't quite together enough, so I just kind of redid what I did with that, and then Patrick worked his magic.
Patrick has much magic.
Yes, he does.
There's several people who have told me what a good engineer I am and a good producer I am because of shit I've made with Pat, and I'm like, yeah, it's Pat.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a little bit, but it's Pat.
I'm happy to take the credit.
Yeah, I'll take a little bit of credit, but anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, and he was. I know he was doing a little traveling while he was
Little traveling.
a lot of traveling. So didn't he go to like Dubai or?
He went to everywhere. He was all over the globe, all over the world, Dubai and England and yeah.
And just to show you how little I know about technology, or at least knew, I probably still don't know a lot. But he was saying that, oh, well, I'm mixing it with GarageBand on my phone. I'm like, well, this is going to sound great, but, I didn't know what to expect. I figured it'd sound okay, but I didn't know what to expect. And then when he came back with it, I was just totally blown away by it. It was
well, I never knew what to expect because I had never been remixed in my life until Agaz's remixed Elements of Style's Passing Glance. But until I had remixed myself, but I had never had anyone remix me, and I have had thoughts of remixing things, but you just never know where anyone's going to go with it.
Yeah.
Like when Akis's did Passing Glance, he had the beat doing things that I actually wanted to do, but because it was a laid back hip hop song, I was trying to stay back.
Yeah.
But it was awesome that he. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to play that, but I'm first going to hear Weightless. This is Anbo-Jyutsu remixed with St. P on Pipe Dream. Special Zerpathon Friday.
To the sky, who would have thought this beautiful day would belie my darkest times?
Sorry.
Oops. That's the kind of the P in XRP stands for probably. It doesn't stand for professional. I have 14 versions of Weightless on my computer. I bet the one that says all of this after it,
That's
as opposed to the one that doesn't say all of that.
that's where my money is.
I'm totally listening to you. I'm totally listening to y'all talk, and I'm not listening to me. All right, we're gonna try again. This is the Sky remix,
There we go.
not the original version.
I look to the sky. Who would have thought this beautiful day would belie my darkest times? Maybe I'm blind, but I can't find the answers that seem so obvious to everyone else. I don't know why, but if only I could be forgiven. forgiven. If only I could be, I'd be weightless. My troubles float right to the sky, lifted from these tight shoulders of mine, and I'm happy to be alive. Weightless, my troubles float right to the sky, lifted from these tight shoulders of mine, and I'm happy to be alive. Happy to be alive. I stared down as I knew no one knows what I feel. I close my eyes, the better to see what's been in front of me this whole time. I don't know why, but if only I could be. If only I could be forgiven. If only I could be, I'd be weightless. My troubles float right to the sky, lifted from these tight shoulders of mine, and I'm happy to be alive. Weightless, my troubles float right to the sky, lifted from these tight shoulders of mine, and I'm happy to be alive. Happy to be alive. I was up all night thinking of our fight, when all I had to do was say I'm sorry. All I had to do was pick up the phone and make it right. Weightless, my troubles float right to the sky, lifted from these tight shoulders of mine, and I'm happy to be alive. Up all night thinking of our fight, when all I had to do was say I'm sorry and make it right. All I had to do, all I had to do, all I had to do.
Do you do it sincerely? If you don't, I'm sorry, you don't qualify.
What's up, everybody? That was St. P.
Hey, this is St. P, and you are definitely not listening to me here on XRP's Pipe Dreams.
And that was him redoing Anbo-Jyutsu's Weightless. Both versions are good. Anyway.
Patrick working the magic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to play one more that St. P did because he's in the chat box, and here we go. I also wanted to say two other things to everybody in the chat box. A, the winner of the first raffle, and I'm going to find out your prize right now, is James Doyle. James Doyle. You have won. Damn. I didn't say what my raffle is. I will find out what the prize is, because, hey, you may have won, like, something you don't want. Jesus. It's like the every flavored beans. Like, every third bean is actually a prize, or you like booger or fish. You don't want that.
Oh, my son bought those, man, and he couldn't get anybody to try them with him.
I actually got a bag just because I worked at the store that sold them. Because I was curious, like how you put earwax in a fucking bubble in a like I could see how you might put, it's jelly beans, but there was like grass, there was tripe,
toothpaste,
terrible fucking booger.
Yeah,
I think dog vomit. But here's the thing:
it's like Russian roulette for kids, you know.
The blueberry and the other ones tasted like Jelly Belly. It was phenomenal. And then you would get like coconut or something, and then all of a sudden you're chewing laundry or something.
Yeah, wet socks.
Yeah,
dishwater.
And it was right on. I was like, how did you put that in this fucking?
I don't want.
Yeah. They nailed that shit.
My son likes to live dangerously, you know. He likes to do it as a game. He'll be like, "Hey, Dad, you want to do this?" I'm like, "I don't know, man." You know.
Well, there is a game like that. My sister, there's a part in the game where you have to eat two beans and they look exactly the same.
Yep.
And one's dog food and one's Oreos.
Yep.
But they look exactly the same, and you're like, and part of the game is you have because they realize if you don't play a game, no one's ever going to eat them.
Yeah.
I can't go to my dad. Like I remember this happened once at Ryan's when I went to the shake machine in the '80s. And I got this milkshake, and it was bad because the milk was bad.
Yeah.
And my instinct, granted I'm 15 years old, the first thing I did was, Dad, taste this fucking rotten milk. He's like, no, why would I? Like, I wanted him to go, Dad, taste this awful thing.
Next generation, this is repulsive. And then he drinks it again.
Yeah. It's disgusting. More? Yes. All right, so here we go. We're going to play some music because this actually is a radio station. I'm going to find out what James Doyle has won. And this is St. P again.
Why you subject yourself to that is all I'm saying.
Down by the riverbed, down by the riverbed, down by the riverbed. The
So that's a song. That's a song. That's a song that I did with Nick Wicker and Saint P. Oh yeah. I wanted to say real quick for everyone in the chat box, if you have any questions for MJ in the world of EDM and promotion and drum and all that awesome ravey life, or if you have any questions for Anbo and his live performance and his music, please hesitate to ask or say something or whatever that is. I'm going to give the mic up to these two guys and let them talk for a minute. Yeah. Okay, Mike's got his mouth full of peanut butter cookies.
The plan has worked. It's all part of Boom's evil plan.
Shove your face full of dry shit and you're out of water, you can't fucking talk.
It's like in cartoons where they try to get the bird to stop whistling, so they feed him crackers and.
No, son. The munchies kicked in, and then he's like, "Let's go live," and I'm like over here fucking with my mouth full.
So, do you have the chat pulled up, or?
I got one chat pulled up there, and then we've got the what do you call it? StreamYard chat.
Who won this last hazelnut thing? I'm gonna fuck it up.
Oh, do it, man.
Okay, I just found out something everyone else probably knows, and that is that when you win a prize, you get to pick. The prizes are first come, first serve, and you get to pick, which I think is brilliant. Whoever came up with that idea, it was probably ALC. That's fucking brilliant. It may have been Tiz. It wasn't me. Maybe it was Greg.
Let me jump in, just because since we're in the moment, but yeah, right. But I do have. There are Anbo-Jyutsu T-shirts and Anbo-Jyutsu CDs as part of the raffle prizes. So if that's something that you're interested in, that is a thing you can pick.
Also, not to throw too much information at you, but Monday at Pipe Dreams is normal time. I'm going to go extra 2 hours, but I will have Sarah Scott talking about her books that she's writing with other guests possibly here, and I will be doing my top 24. I spent all week last week going over. Last year I did a top 24 of my favorite 24 songs on XRP, and this year I did it the year too, and it's quite different from last year as you would expect because I've heard a whole lot more stuff. So maybe I'll play a track or two off my top Boomsmack 24, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But before we do anything at all, we're going to play some Remy, because earlier MJ here really likes Remy, and when I played it, I had it on mute or the volume down, so he didn't even get to hear it. So this is Lavender Galaxy. This is yeah, and you're hearing it.
This guy's really good.
You're hearing it here on Pipe Dream Special Friday Zerpathon with Anbo and MJ.
This is Eric Remington from Lavender Galaxy, and you're listening to Pipe Dreams here on XRP Radio.
When we met, I was so young. You brought magic to my world. Bright eyes and glowing smile was like a magnet to my soul. You lift me up and drag me down. One moment love, another hate. Had to leave all these behind when you were running on my mind. Running on my mind. Running on my mind. I can't live without you. Live without just another step away. After all these nights alone, I don't know how to escape. No matter how hard I try, you keep running on my mind, running on my mind, running on my mind. I wanna live without you. After all these days alone, I still don't know how to escape. How can I be so blind? You're still running on my mind. 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 I'm glad I live without you. Live without you. Live without you. Running on my mind. Running on my mind.
Running
Yeah.
on my mind, featuring Yo Deli with Lavender Galaxy. This is I mentioned earlier in the conversation about how Akaz's remixed my band EOS, and I was like, I've never been remixed before. It's weird because I was like, that's not what I did. So anyway, here's that on XRP's special Pipe Dreams Friday Zerpathon edition with Anbo and MJ.
Talk about the DJ stuff and like that.
Man, it happened so fast. It was a goddamn whirlwind romance, just a passing glance. Cause when they kissed, she just dismissed it at last. Man, it happened so fast. It was a goddamn whirlwind romance, just a passing glance. Cause when they kissed, she just dismissed it at last. When they kissed, she just dismissed it at last.
Yeah. Don't worry, you can stay tonight. Even though I'm heading out, I gotta catch a flight. I had a great time chilling out by candlelight. You've been through a couple things, but you keep it tight. I never thought you'd open up in multiple ways. I'm talking leg spread, have my mind in a daze. But let these haters tell it, they say our love will fade. Our relationship just like the trap, it always paid. I think about you all the time when I'm on the road. Stay true to you, baby, never groupie old. Going crazy when we hit the stage, they throwing clothes. But no matter what happens, I'm always coming home. We got true love, I never thought I'd find it. Grew together thanks to all of the time spent. If they doubt our love, they full of shit. But never mind that, baby, it's irrelevant.
Man, it happened so fast.
Don't worry, you can stay tonight.
Man, it happened so
may stay a little longer. Ain't no need to rush, I roll over and put it on you. Fill the room with sex and marijuana. Only smoke the best, I got a set from California. Girl, I promise you my number one. It's the things that you do, I keep you close like my gun. Stick around you, baby, you my honey bun. I never hit it and quit it, I'm about the long run. So, fuck what your friends say, pay them no attention. I got breakfast in bed, girl, I forgot to mention. Need you in my life, like a prescription. I go for your love, it's my only mission. I hope you know that this ain't pillow talk. Just for your touch, I'll take the long walk. Your love's like the ocean, and I'm at the dock. I'm about to set sail, baby, raise that. So fine, don't worry, you can stay tonight. So fine, don't worry, you can stay tonight. So fine, don't worry, you can stay tonight.
She thinks he's just another lover that doesn't really love her, that's leaving her to wonder if he's leaving once he fucks her. So when he claims he wants her, she's reminded of another. She reads between the lines, his pillow talk is undercover. He must be just like all the others, his intention is to plunder. She's come to expect this condescension from above her. In her condition, it's no wonder that his warmth just makes her shudder. So she's boarded up and shuttered with every other line he utters. And when it rains, it thunders, so she hides under the covers. She sleeps away the day, but at night finds lines to drug her. Meanwhile, he is asunder to assumptions that she's under. She won't believe it, but he means it when he's screaming that he loves her.
Man, it happened so fast. It was a goddamn whirlwind romance, just a passing glance. Cause when they kissed, she just dismissed it at last. Man, it happened so fast. It was a goddamn whirlwind romance, just a passing glance. Cause when they kissed, she just dismissed it at last. So fast,
don't worry, you can stay tonight.
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 So I played that for Zach and Andy, and Zach and Andy both thought it was awesome. Like, they were so impressed. The singer and the bass player for Elements of Style, they thought that was awesome. I thought it was awesome, and Graham thought it was awesome. So, hey, Akazuz, 4 for 4.
I think it's awesome, too.
It was awesome. Does anybody have anything to say or want to talk about before I play another track? Oh, by the way, one more winner. What did the last Miss Happenings. Well, James Doyle and Miss Happenings both pick. See, last year it was like, oh, you won this prize, therefore it's an album by this band. Well, maybe they won that prize already or whatever, or they didn't want that. So someone had the great idea to say, now, from the huge stash, you just pick one. So Miss Happenings, Misha, and James Doyle.
So they're picked at random? Or
No, the person that wins decides.
No. Did you guys pick the pile to pick from at random, or how did that work?
Oh,
how did the
ALC and Tiz and them were doing all that with. They're doing all that with the. So
but it's all artists that are on XRP. Is the pile?
Well, no, I think you donate to buy tickets to be in the raffle.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I don't know how much it is, but I think you purchase the raffle tickets.
So everybody who donated an album submitted it.
Yes, like for instance, one of the prizes is DVP. My company will do you an album cover.
Oh, okay,
or
cool.
a logo. Anmbo-Jyutsu donated some T-shirts.
Yep, and CDs.
Everybody donated something.
That's awesome.
Yeah. One guy, Craig, donated a signed guitar pick.
Sick. So we don't know what James has picked as his prize.
No, but as soon as James and Miss Happenings tell me what you picked, I would like to know, because there's some pretty swift prizes out there. I know because I made the raffle graphic. It showed all the prizes on
the raffle graphic.
I'll show it to you. It's badass.
Okay.
This song is very 80s, so I'm going to play it. It reminds me of the two guys I'm in the room with, so here we go. It's 1992 right now.
nothing much to me. Phone you from the plane, the one that I received. Once you get that money, there's nothing left but greed. I got fancy cars, I've got a big TV. $1,000 dinners mean nothing much to me. Phone you from the plane, the one that I received. Once you get that money, there's nothing left but greed.
Once small, we play our dangerous game.
After very careful consideration, sir, I've come to the conclusion that your new defense system sucks. Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Hello there, with your silence, my flesh wastes away. Excessively to die, now my bones remain to say. From misleading smiles, my world wastes away. From feigning fondness, another fool was born today. It was a blameless mistake. I was your loyal colleague. That this portion my love instead became your fate. But now it's too late. Father on father versus close to me. Your plans were money lost to slavery. They were meant for me. God of wages, sacred snake. Drink another drink, another toast we make to you, to you. God of wages, sacred snake. Drink another drink, another toast we make to you. God of treason, pepper snake. Hands clutch my neck as my body shakes, as my body shakes. God of day, great, take me to your place. Now I'm gasping for breath while falling hard on my face. Goodbye to this place. I am was innocent, a child. By you I was beguiled. I poisoned all the wine, cause I believed your lies. Now my sentence is to die. So I climbed Mars Hill to accept my fate, where the house of ices should have been the place. Cover up my face, die in
Ancient Murder Trial here on Pipe Dreams, special Friday Zerbathon fundraiser edition with MJ Lee and Anbo-Jyutsu.
Yo, that was great.
You like that?
Yeah, man. That was
that right there. That
was
song right there represents more production
That
and
was
work than any
psychedelic.
song I've ever, any 5 songs I've ever. That song took more than the entire Pornography album to produce. I mean, I had a lot of help, but that was the hardest.
Yeah, man,
most
that was
production.
really good. Kudos to everybody on that project, man. That
Yeah.
was
It's so good, and even
and it's psychedelic as
Brad's
fuck.
bass gets overlooked, but when he's like,
Yeah.
that's simple. It's almost like the whole song is Brad. It's that little thing he's doing.
Kudos to both you guys, man. That was great.
Right on.
I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be cool. You were like, so I had these visions of this ancient murder trial, and I was like, oh god. And then fucking, that was incredible.
If you heard the original track, with no Eric and no bass and no Ross and no anything, you would have been like,
Yeah.
It's hearing all of them on it.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
it was cool and all,
that
but
guitar fucking shit, like you were saying. When
dude,
Eric
that's what I'm
was on
saying.
the
That
guitar.
I'm so fortunate.
You got to send me that song.
Hell yeah.
I want to like listen to it.
We need to make a video for it. I've been telling the band we need to make some kind of video for it.
Yeah.
I've got a lyric video, but not a proper.
You guys need to put out one of the hits, and then
Well, we're working on Just Like Heaven, and we're working on a few
Yeah.
others. And,
That's what you need, because then somebody's got something to gravitate to,
Um,
and then be like, "Yo, these guys are fucking sounding just like this shit," and then that goes viral, and then you're on.
I agree. I'm going to play Lavender Galaxy because you told me to.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I wish you'd talk into that mic.
I am a fan of this guy. He's awesome.
This is Eric Remington on Pipe Dreams. Here you are.
You give me peace of mind when I'm caught in a war, surrounded in the dark. You open up a door, baby. You are my light that I've been searching for.
Hey. You know, that was Lavender Galaxy for the 400th time tonight, but MJ really likes it. MJ's in the house, so we're going to play it. Anyway, that was Here You Are. If anybody wants to hear anything, let us know in the chat box. If anybody has any questions, put that in the chat box.
Let me shout out this Lavender Galaxy cat real quick. Like, I was just telling Dave, because Dave's not hip to, you know, like big EDM acts that are out here cracking and selling out stadiums. But this dude is on par with this group called Odessa, who's out here, like, you know, doing Live Nation tours and making $300,000 a show. That's how good this guy is. That's all I had to say about that.
Yeah, real quick, I'll just say that when I first joined XRP and I had to download a few songs for my very first Pipe Dreams. So I was like, okay, what songs do I want to play first? Do I want to be a rock show? Do I want to be an EDM show? What the fuck do I want to be? I don't know what my format is. So I started, and I still do this, but I started getting songs just because of the title. It was like, that has a cool title, I'm getting it. And I got some stinkers, but I got so much good stuff. And the point is that in the 3 years I've been doing this, I can list you 10, 20 bands off the top of my head and 30 more if I study it, but I will put them toe-to-toe to any fucking famous band. I don't care how big you get. I don't care how big you get. Like, I don't think anyone's as good as Pink Floyd, but what I'm saying is if you go to totally famous Rolling Stones kind of shit or Eminem, I got you in this database. So I just think it's crazy that, like, Lavender Galaxy is the deal. I've been playing him three songs a show since I heard it. Like, he had a show in XRP called Remy's Basement, and he played Cabinet Apple Black, and I played him all day long.
He's really good.
He's really good.
To the point I was talking to him about managing him, and he was like, "Yo, I can't."
Yeah.
He's dealing with a lot of family stuff, so he couldn't leave the house. But I was like, "Yo, you could be famous, dude. Like, that's how good that guy is."
Yeah. And I hope that his music blows out even without him able to tour it, but it's so fucking good.
Yeah, man. He's a really good producer. He's on par with this group called Odessa. That's what I'm saying. And they're selling out stadiums right now. That's how good he is. Really well produced.
Yep.
Well, I want to hear this.
Okay, here you
go. And we're going to hear a quick word from Anbo, but then I'm going to play you one of my very favorite tunes from 80s Dave, The Neon Night. Because we can't talk 80s and electronic and not play him at least once.
Yeah, I was just going to plug a couple of my shows coming up. One is next month. There are some people that are in Atlanta that might be interested. At Sweetwater Grill in Duluth, I'm playing on December 17th as part of a very merry Synthmas, along with my usual co-conspirators, Corporal Quig, Bitter Old Hag, and Glass Droid. So it should be a good show. So if you're in or around Atlanta, Duluth area on December 17th, it'll be a good night. And then I don't have anything planned for a while, but I will be doing the Cupid's Undie run in February, where there are bands, there's beer, there's people running a little marathon in their underwear or costumes are encouraged to. But it's for charity. It's for neurofibromatosis, which is a rare cancer that affects children. So definitely a good cause, definitely a good time. That's not till February, but it'll still probably be pretty cold. So you may not want to do the underwear thing, but you can run anyway. Or not. You can just show up and drink beer and listen to music. That works too.
I got some underwear up and down, dude.
Yeah, you know, that they're easy to please. So that's about all I have. All I have cooking. I might have something else going on, but that's what I got.
Right on. I love the Sweetwater too that you're doing that, because I've played there before. I love that place.
It's a great venue. The PA is great. The people are great. The stage lights are insane.
You probably don't have the same MC. No. This guy Taman used to do MC there, and he was so great. But I think it's a different guy now. But Taman would come out, and he had so much enthusiasm. It didn't matter how flat your set was, or if there was 3 people or 300. But he would come out and be like, "Let's give it up for whoever band it was." And he had so much fucking energy. I love that dude. Every time that he would talk, I have a video proof of this. But when he came up to MC at the beginning of a Battle of the Bands, and he kept trying to talk, and every time he would say like something important, I was doing the, on the cymbal and the snare and the like trying to give him like
a little backup.
Yeah, he did like 6 of those. And once I got one, I was like, well, I'm going to keep doing it now. Anyway, 80s Dave, Out of Time, Pipe Dreams. the special Zerpentine Friday edition. Tell me you don't feel like you're in some serious food court kind of shit right here, dude.
I'm looking for my New York seltzer.
You need some blueberry flavored New York seltzer.
That's it.
You're walking across, there's the fog machine going. Fucking, what's her name? Fucking. time, and we are almost out of time, but only 35 minutes left. I should have played that when we really were out of time. I could have made a cool joke about it. I'm going to play a really quick song called XR Penis because this is XRP.
UHF com check. Columbia, Houston, UHF com check.
Fido, when are you expecting tracking? 1 minute ago, flight. Fido flight? Go ahead, flight. Have we gotten any tracking data?
We got a blip of tracking data. It was a bad data point flight. We do not believe that was the orbiter. My C-bands have not required anything. We are only acquiring false locks at this time.
I copy, Fido.
Columbia, Houston, UHF com check. Columbia, Houston, UHF com check.
Man, this music's so chill. It's like you want to talk up. Check the T's, checks on D's. That was Levante, The Last Flight of Columbia, which I bet is about the space shuttle, dog.
That was very ambient.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Okay, so I had a question for you. I'm going to give you the mic because Anbo-Jyutsu took one of the microphones, so now we've only got one microphone. But I wanted to ask you, and you might think this is dirt, but in the world of, like when I first knew you or first knew of you, yes, you were into the rock and roll and all that, but there was a definite era not long after that, because I got you into some goth and all that kind of shit, but there was a definite rap EDM era that you went through. So when I heard that you were doing a buttload of these raves and shit, I just assumed it was all rap and stuff. And I don't even have a problem with rap. I'm just saying I just thought that's what you were doing. So what I'm saying, even though that isn't what you do, I thought it'd be fun for me and others to hear the difference in the world of being a promoter of rap and hip hop as opposed to being an EDM promoter. Or is there a difference?
Well, actually, what we started doing before almost anybody, I mean, okay, so rappers have been showing up at raves since the dawn of raves. Like, it's always gone hand to hand. Matter of fact, raves sort of come from b-boy culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially drum and bass side of, like, American Junglists. That comes straight from b-boy culture, right? So that's the same thing that birthed hip-hop. So, what was the thing I was at? Oh, so what we started doing was I used to throw this party called Kingdom Rave. And rappers had not been coming to raves for a long time. And they started blowing up, and EDM started blowing up. And so we were like, let's bring it together. So we brought like Waka Flocka to a rave. We brought Bone Thugs and Harmony. It was the first time all 5 of them had been on stage together in 12 years. It was dope. And then...
well, is there a genre that's technically at the raves most, or is it any kind of music that's blowed out with a big audience is a rave? Or does it matter?
No. So a rave typically would be house music or drum and bass music or breakbeat music or like some sort of electronic dance music, which is where EDM comes from, is electronic dance music. It's a big catch-all for the industry. So what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. But what we're doing is we're bringing the hip hop back to the rave and making it like, because now there's music festivals everywhere. When we were doing this, it was before festivals blew up. So now, you can go to mad festivals that have mixed genre lineups on it. And that's how big, but most of those big acts are going to be DJs usually. Because, like, it's a DJ's world right now. I mean, name 5 bands that have put out a relevant record in the last 5 years that could sell out a stadium.
What about single singers who are singing to what the DJ's doing? Do you get some of that?
Yeah, always. Yeah, for sure.
But not a band.
Yeah, there's bands too. That's what I was telling Ross earlier. But I mean, they're making dance music. You know what I'm saying? Like Grizz is playing saxophones. Big Gigantic is a drummer and a saxophonist. Rufus Du Sol play live instruments. Odessa plays live instruments. I mean, there's tons of acts that are doing live instrumentation over EDM.
I've always thought it was about that. I love whether it's goth or EDM or dance or whatever, I love the mixing of beats and all the incredible shit a DJ can do, but also either a live drummer or horns.
Yeah.
Horns, dude. Remember Mind's Eye, local Atlanta band Mind's Eye? They had horns.
Yeah, I know those guys.
My point is it made the rock go to a whole nother...
Right.
And anytime you can do that, like, I think it's hilarious people arguing about rock or DJ or band or bass. Like, a real bass player will sometimes say that this is bass, this is not. Dude, I've heard some of this that sounds just as good as fucking what
Yeah, I mean, I'm an electronic kid, you know what I'm saying? So I'm from DJ culture, so of course I believe that you can do anything that a band can do, you can do with a synthesizer.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Together, you could do, let's just say there is a tiny bit that a band can't do that a DJ can do, and vice versa. If you both do them, then there's nothing you can't fucking do.
That's why, every time that I have made music, I did it as a collective.
Yeah.
Because we were this group that I used to be in called Living Experience, were one of the first to like take bass music, which is like dubstep, and when all that started coming in, and put live instrumentation over it. Spangle, you got to see Spangle, dude.
For once I have a show that's actually after me, because on regular nights there's nothing after. Regular nights there's nothing after me, so I can just go whenever. But tonight I have to actually knock off in exactly 6 minutes. So we're going to play the last song of the evening and come back and say goodbye to MJ. Naughty and T, New Kicks on Pipe Dreams.
So fresh, got everybody looking at me like, damn, who's this? Looking so fly, walking by in my new kicks, brand new and fitted, limited edition. You're never gonna get them, just a trial, be a mission. They're my new kicks. I told you that I get them, trying not to get them mucky, trying not to wet them. Watch where you're walking, better watch where you're treading. If you're stepping on my toes, then I'll kick your fucking head in. They're my new kicks. New kicks, have you seen them? Using a toothbrush and toothpick to clean them. You think that you can get a pair, but not until next season. And I'm walking like I shit myself, so I don't get a crease in my new kicks. And I'm followed like the new kid, asking where I got them, can I buy them for a few quid? Think you're getting these, you must be crazy, must be stupid. These were made for me and only me and not for you, bitch. Every time I put them on, they make me feel like a star. Everybody's looking at me everywhere that we are. Always asking where to get them, I just tell them you can't. Cause they're my new kicks, yeah. I'm looking so fly from the soul to the laces. Everybody wants a pair but looking in the wrong places. Don't ever get no motherfucking shit on my trainers. They're my new kicks, yeah. They're my new kicks. This pair was tailor-made. It's crazy when your trainers start to get you laid. Teachers give you better grades, went from F to A's. Everybody says, look at the way Noddy plays in his new kicks. Scoring goals in a few kits, getting all but a few chicks. There's one lad that said he bought them off a website in a few clicks, but they're counterfeited and this kid is talking bullshit, it's laughable. You'll never get a pair of these, you could even pray to Jesus or try from overseas. You must have been smoking trees or it happened in your dreams, and they wouldn't suit you anyway, not in them skinny jeans. They're my new kicks, and the shoe fits perfect. Ain't got no money left but true fits worth it. Laces have a pearl tint, making all the girls squint. All the boys don't like me cause I'm taking all the girlfriends. Every time I put them on they make me feel like a star. Everybody's looking at me everywhere that we are. Always asking where to get them, I just tell them you can't. Cause they're my new kicks, yeah. I'm looking so fly from the soul to the laces. Everybody wants a pair but looking in the wrong places. Don't never get no motherfucking shit on my trainers. They're my new kicks, yeah. I'm looking so fly from the soul to the laces. Everybody wants a pair but looking in the wrong places. Don't never get no motherfucking shit on my trainers. So fresh.
MJ's like, why are you putting that shoe on my face? I was trying to show my new kick to the camera. Okay, so we got 5 minutes left. What you want to talk about? Yeah, we're gonna play one more song. It's gonna have to be a 4-minute song, but have to be good. I gotta impress my homie. My new kicks. All right, this is 2 minutes. Let's do this. This is risky. All right, guys, we're about out of here. We got like a minute left. Next coming up is Not Your Usual Morning Show. Join For God's Sake. Probably tired, probably lost, but still hosting. That's right. For God's Sake. The funniest titled pun in all of XRP. Okay, MJ, you got 60 seconds or whatever. What do you think?
If you like drum and bass and you're in the Southeast, we got a party called Jungle Bells on December 17th. It's going to have Friction and AMC and Coven, Matrix and Futurebound. A bunch of people will be there. It's the largest drum and bass party in America this year. It's in Atlanta. It's at Masquerade. You can look up junglebells.org for more information. Have a nice night.
Awesome sauce. Thanks for coming and doing this, and Anbo-Jyutsu as well.
Do you prefer a good game of chess?
Mister, I don't mind shooting them for you, but I'll be damned if I'm going to sweat over them for you.
That's the sample I wanted to play for you that we were talking about on the way over here. I'll shoot them for you. Yeah. All right, well, we're outie. I'm going to have the little thing says 12. Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming. That was awesome. XRP's Pipe Dreams signing off. Peace.